What's up, everybody? It's Matt from Night and Day Performance, back again with another video. Behind me I have a 2022 Ram TRX Mammoth. That's right, that's a Hennessy Mammoth truck. Like as I told you guys before, you know, we were working on this truck because it was stolen, purchased at auction, and when it was purchased at auction, it had a 392, not a TRX engine in it. It is a verified numbered TRX vehicle. It is 100% a TRX. However, it does not have the right motor in it. So what we're doing now is we're going to go ahead and get the cab off the truck, and there's a lot of people that might not know how to pull them off and how simple it really is to pull the cab off of a Ram vehicle. It sounds like a crazy task. Man, that's a lot of stuff to unhook. It's not that bad. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of the points and where to look for whenever you're unhooking these. Alright, so now we're in the engine bay of this Ram TRX. Of course, as you see here, that's the wrong engine. That's what's getting replaced. That's why it's here. What you're going to want to do is disconnect any of your coolant hoses, anything that's connected to the body. So your AC lines here, right here, disconnect those. Disconnect your heater core hoses, anything that goes from the motor directly to the body, anywhere throughout here. So this hose here, those lines there, the steering shaft, it's held on by a 10 right down there, so disconnect that. Your brake lines, just disconnect the two up here. Right here, they're a size 12 millimeter. If you want to disconnect those, you're going to go underneath. You're going to disconnect your shifter cable, which is going to be right on the side of the transmission. I'll show you that here in just a second. The front bumper does not have to come off if you don't want to, but you're going to want to disconnect your radiator hoses, any of your coolant lines or anything that's sitting here that's connected to the front. You're separating that from the engine. You basically are making the engine a standalone unit. You don't want anything that's on the engine connected to the body. If it's connected to the frame, it's fine. The frame is right here. All this down here, the motor mounts and all that, leave all of that on. You do not have to disconnect that stuff. You're disconnecting everything that goes from the frame to the body or the engine to the body. Now, as far as frame to body, there's not very many on here that need to be disconnected. There's going to be some wires over here on this side that are going up to the fuse box. So anything that's going to the fuse box that's touching the grounds, like here, disconnect all of those. And then what we're going to do is you're going to go around to the side and go underneath the truck, and there's going to be some motor mounts, or not motor mounts, some engine mounts that we have to take the bolts out of. They are not easy to get out sometimes. You're going to need a long breaker bar, a lot of patience, and if you drink, you might need a couple beers. But this one's already taken out. I'm just going to go underneath and show you the locations of where they're at and where you can disconnect the wiring from the cab underneath the truck. All right, so now we're underneath the Ram TRX. Here it's above me. I'm on the driver's side. The door is right above me. So on the driver's side, you're going to see some wiring harnesses, and right there is going to be a bolt. And one there. You're going to come back. There's going to be one there. And you're going to come back again, and there's one back there. I'll show you that one in a minute once I get to the back. You're going to disconnect this harness here, which is just a pull, the little tab you pop up, disconnect that, which sits right here. This separates the body from this. If you have side steps, make sure they're disconnected as well. This one has side steps. Right here, there's going to be a plastic cover. There's 10 millimeter nuts holding it on. Take those three off. This will be like this. You disconnect that, let that hang down on the frame, and then all of this side is disconnected now. On the transmission, you're going to have a lever here. You're going to pop that off. There's going to be a screw here. There's going to be a nut here, a little further back, right there. Take those off, and this little bracket will come off with it. You can fish it up there so that it's on top. That's your shifter cable. And then we're going to go underneath. Now, mind you, the wiring harness can stay on the engine as long as you disconnect the wiring harness from the engine itself. So opposite side of the truck, very similar. You got a mount here, there's gonna be a bolt. Mount here, there's gonna be a bolt. And back there, there's gonna be another bolt. So three on this side, three on the other side. Harness, you're gonna have one here. So disconnect this harness. And then in the very back, I'll slide back there real quick. Sorry for the camera angle. There's a harness right here as well. You're going to disconnect that one. Once you get those disconnected, you can leave your exhaust and all that. This one is just taken apart already. Make sure that you don't have any random wires that somebody secured that might be from the trans or something up to the body, but everything should be disconnected now. The harness should be on this transmission running back, but it should stay on. Make sure it stays on. Make sure there's no grounds going to the body anywhere on it. And then just like that, that's how you disconnect it. All right, now we're gonna get back up top and we're gonna go ahead and start lifting the body off this truck. All right, so 2 more bolts that I forgot about in the initial. Right down here, you're gonna see this bolt here. This is an 18. This right here, another 18. You're gonna unscrew those. They're not gonna come all the way out. There's a little retainer right there. So they're just gonna sit there. So those 2 as well. So make sure, like I said, double check yourself. And then as I'm doing the lifting process, I already know everything's disconnected, but when you're doing it for the first time, have everything quiet around you. Don't have a lot of noise. What you're listening for is any type of wiring moving, anything that moves. If you hear something move while you're lifting the body off, stop immediately. Don't go any further. Go find out what's moving. And then every, couple inches you go up, stop and go look under the vehicle. It'll get to a point where I'll show you, you can see that there's nothing connected under the vehicle. All right, so this is the point I was talking about. Once you get it up to a certain height, you want to go back and check. And right now I'm standing in the engine bay and I can see that there's nothing connected, even underneath the chassis. I'm making sure there's no wires hanging, nothing getting pulled. All right, so once you make sure that there's no wires, you can go ahead and go up. Just keep going in slow increments because you never know what might grab. If you saw in the time lapse, I stopped and grabbed these lines right here, which go to the AC compressor. They were grabbing the frame rails. So stuff can grab. You want to make sure you don't tear up anything that you have to replace. Let's go ahead and finish getting this cap off. All right, so as you saw, we went ahead and got the body off. I'm gonna go ahead and go over some of the things I was talking about earlier. So right here is the mount that I was discussing. There's one there, there's another one right here. Got those off. Underneath, I'll show you. There's 1, 2, 3, sorry for the bright light. Kick that out the way. And there's your harness connection there. Harness connection there. Make sure you see everything else is staying on. The whole engine's still in. And the same thing for the other side. So we have a mount on that side. There's a mount there. And another mount there. And then you have the harness up front. And then the harness just sits right there. So just like that. I'll show you on this side too. Your harnesses. So they make it simple. They make it so you have quick disconnects for taking this off, because this is the proper procedure to change engines and do engine work on these vehicles, is to pull that off. So it just makes it a lot easier when you do it that way. So if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Help us get this out to everybody else. Like I said, we do this because we love cars. If you have anything you want us to cover, let us know. Till next time, I'm Matt from Night and Day Performance. Y'all have a good one.